that to be able to get up on top of the rocks, you need something that can fly. And it's like, what, level 40 something that you finally get your first flying dinosaur saddle? So, oh, what are those guys? I don't know if I recognize those guys over there. Or are those just compies and they look bigger from here? I think those are just compies and they look big. Okay, anyway. Get ourselves some rocks and things. Oh geez, we gotta start from scratch. I haven't played this game from scratch in a while. Oh jeez. Let's get rid of all the skins. The only skins I ever use are the Parasaurus stylish saddle, the glasses, and sometimes I'll use the Santiago spear and Santiago's axe. Just because I think those are kind of cool. But I never use the animated series skins. I wonder how those would look. Guess it doesn't matter because I'm not using them, but alright. So let's go into weight. Let's get hatchet and spear. Can I make anything just yet? I can. Cool. Oh! You know how I was just saying I don't see anything that bad? I'm pretty sure I saw at least one raptor running across over there. That's cool. Raptors in this game are the bane of your existence. They're like the best early game tame because once you have a raptor, you can basically fend off almost every other dinosaur. But they're also pretty difficult to tame until you get to the point of having like, where is it? Oh, I guess you're not gonna see it right now. But the it's not poison. What is it? Narcotic. It's difficult to tame them without narcotic because you'll have to like knock them out. And really, your best bet is to use narcotic tipped arrows, shoot them from a distance, knock them out, and then go up to them. At least in my experience, that's the best way to go about it. Flint. Let's get some of this. I'm playing this very unseriously, by the way. So if you're coming in here expecting like great gameplay, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but this is not the right place for that. I'm mostly streaming this because I felt like it, and I wanted to see how the game would perform on stream. Because a while ago, I played it just a little bit on stream, and it was a bit rough. But also, I didn't know what I know now about like changing certain settings and everything. So let's do the ones that require fiber only. And we're gonna want a spear ASAP. We need fiber and wood. I don't know where those compies went. Not that that's a big deal. Compies are easy to deal with. I'm definitely leaving this island because I don't like that the raptors were right over there. The only issue with having raptors around is that they're so fucking fast and they have such a large aggro range. They could see me. They could be like up that hill. And for whatever reason, they could easily lock onto me instead of any of the other nearby dinos and just fucking wreck me. Like absolutely destroy me. And I would have no chance. Cool. Yeah, I'm probably, as long as I don't die in the water from any big dinos, I'll probably end up going over there to what looks like those ruins. Or maybe to that island over there with that arch. That might also be ruins, but that might be further away than I'm thinking. Oh, I see the compies. See the little guy over there. This is what I was talking about. Narco berries used to make narcotics later in the game. Jeez. The sound of the pteranodon striding by freaked me out. I could have. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm dead. Something's coming to get me. But we're good. We're good. I just want to get like some of the basic stuff. Maybe kill a dodo or two. Maybe kill those compies just for some food. Oh, there's some dilos right there. See him? Chasing the... Is that just you? That's just you. Okay. Chasing the... Moss chops? It probably wasn't a mouse chops. Mabby. Yeah, there's a dodo over there. I think the compies might still... Oh, yep, there are the compies. Compies are also very easy to kill. So... I would not be surprised if they bit off more than they can chew, fought something, and died before I could get to them. So... I will say, even though I play on the island map a lot, there is a major downside to playing on the island map, and that's that it doesn't have, like, oh, I think literally every other map has high-level dinosaurs that you can find in specific locations or something, but, like, for instance, like the Pteranodon, there you can't find high-level Pteranodons. I think the highest you can get is, like, maybe a one in the teens or 20s, but you're not gonna find anything higher than that. Not typically anyway. Maybe 30s. Maybe. That's a big maybe though. Uh-oh. That Moz Chops is running this way. So he was being chased by the two. Oh, they're way behind, I guess. Either that or they're just not aggro on him anymore and he's still booking it. Run, Moz Chops, run! Poor boy. Where'd that dodo go? I wanted to get that dodo. He's walking over here somewhere, I thought. Maybe not. Maybe not anymore. I thought I saw that raptor run across that direction. But I don't see him anymore. Oh! There's something big over there that looks like that might be a Carno. Look at that red one! Pretty! Oh my gosh, you have such a bright color. I've literally never seen a red Chompy before. Also, he's a level 40. That's insane. I almost feel a little bad for killing him. I'm sorry, but I need your meat and your hide, unfortunately. Okay, is the other one? Yes, cool. Yay! That's not the dodo that I wanted, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm almost positive. Yeah, up by that tree. See at the tip of my axe right there? I'm pretty sure that's a Carno. That's crazy. That's crazy. Carnos are like a lesser version of the T-Rex. Carnotaurus, I think is the full name. A lot of these, the names are shortened, so I don't know the full names unless I've heard of them prior, like the Triceratops are shortened to Trikes. Carnos I know are Carnotaurus because I've seen the wiki page. And then what's another short one? Sarco. I don't know what Sarco is short for, but that might be Sarcotaurus if the trend continues. But I also might be very wrong on that one, so. Okay. We're gonna kill maybe like a couple more dinosaurs, and then we're gonna try and shoot for one of the further away islands, because I really don't like being over here where there's like raptors and carnos and shit. So. Nah. I was gonna potentially tame these Dilos, but it really wouldn't be worth it, I don't think. Oh. Oh, he's already so injured that he's booking it. He's like, oh. Yeah, whatever he was fighting before beat the shit out of him. So he's... Yeah. Bro stood no chance because he was already hurt from whatever the fuck else he was fighting. Okay. What am I hearing? There's something attacking that parasaur over there. See, that's the thing. Is you have to watch wherever the fuck things are fighting. Oh, the Sarco's over here now. Oh, hi. Have you just been following me and not hurting me? How long? Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, I feel bad. You were so pretty. Oh. I bet you were with that red male, weren't you? I wouldn't doubt it. I don't blame you either. Bro had those bright colors to show off for the ladies. Oh my gosh, this one too. What did they fight earlier? Jeez. They're both running away. Oh, that one had pretty colors too. The black with the red details. The red pin feathers or whatever. Ooh, yep, that's a Carno. That's a Carno. That is slowly inching its way over here. That's the issue. They could be, see that Sarco or Carno, if that's the same Carno that I saw earlier, it was literally all the way up there. But it like slowly comes closer to you because it chases other dinosaurs and they end up coming closer to you. Are those... I keep getting like weird hiccup burps. Are those volcanoes? Okay, we're gonna try and swim over to that island. Here's to hoping we don't die. If we do, that's fine. We're early enough in the game that we're not really losing much, but we're so early in the game that we can't even make a raft to get over there, so it's swim or bust at the moment. This also might be a bad idea, but I just don't want to live where I was living. Whoa! Look at those twin waterfalls. Oh my gosh. Already this map is beautiful. Like, look at the cliffs up there and the peaks. And then you've got, I'm assuming, volcanoes over there. Got these arches. And then again, the waterfalls. What the shit? This is gorgeous. Where are the other... Oh, okay. I was trying to look for the other beacons. I can't see one of them, but I think that's a beacon in between those two peaks right there. I'm pretty sure. Ooh. We might die from that guy. I don't know what he is, but we might die from him. So there's those two waterfalls. There's a waterfall over there. Looks like there might be another waterfall that's coming out of the clouds there. Oh! Ichthyornis. Or Ichthyosaurus? Oh my god. Hi! Hi! Why are you all following me? You're not bad? Ichthyosaurus. Oh! You're bad though! Get them, Megalodon, please. Not me. I want to live! Oh, there's another one. Uh-oh. 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 I'm begging. Ichthyosaurus, save me. I bit off more than I can chew. Oh, dear. That's okay. We'll restart. Let's spawn somewhere else. Tropical Islands North. I feel like Tropical Islands South was the bad play. So, let's do Tropical Islands North, maybe. Or, you know what? Hold on. Is there a way that I can spawn basically where I was going? Wait. I can't tell. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what I had seen and compare it, but I can't. I don't know where. Yeah. Okay. Respawn random location. Let's go for it. Oh, ooh! I remember this place. Oh, this was part of what got me hooked on this game. Oh, that's a scorpion. So this area is not much better. Oh my god! And then there's a T-Rex there. That's not a Carno. That's a T-Rex. How do I get up there? How do I get up to those? That's an Alpha T-Rex. Maybe I'll have better luck if I go toward the scorpion. Oh, look at you. Oh, the pretty red. Oh my gosh, on the Brontosaurus. Beautiful. Yeah, I want to get up. I want to get up and away. Because this is scary. What are you? Kentrosaur. I'm so sorry, sir. Oh, I don't know what half these things are. I'm dead. Hyenodon. The Castrosaur? Castrosaurus? Hold on. I'm gonna look up best early game spawn locations. ARK Survival Evolved, the center map. Because I'm doing awful so far. The safest spot is this. That's such a fucking lie. The best spots. Yeah. This person on Reddit said, according to the wiki, the safest spot on the map would be the North Tropical Island, as the dangerous creatures' spawns are supposedly the lowest there. I think I can beg to differ. Literally within seconds of spawning in, I saw like 3 T-Rexes, one of which was an alpha. I saw hyenodons. I saw scorpion. There's like a full name for those guys. I don't remember what it is. Let's see. Southeastern corner of the southern jungle island. South jungles. Which has ruins that will keep you safe from wild dinos. They got most of what you need for quite a while. Safety water, metal crystal, beaver dams. Wow. Southern island. I started both southern and north. Southern, I got killed by a giant ape. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna go back to Tropical Island South. And maybe just go further down the beach? And invest in a, oh, nice. Spawned right near a couple dilos. Oh, yep. Are they both chasing me now? I hate to break it to you. I have nothing for you to steal, you little rat bastard. The little guy with his little hands, he steals shit from you, except I have nothing for him to steal. Actually, I do have stuff for him to steal, because I have... Yeah, here, come here. Take something. Take something. God, you're ugly. He got mad at me for insulting him and running away. You weren't gonna steal from me, bitch. So I just fucking... I called you ugly. Damn, why are there so many red dinosaurs? Was the, like... he still chasing me? No, he's gone, apparently. Damn! 4 Dilos. Crazy. They got a whole pack going on up here. I want to try to get by them if I can. I don't want to have to deal with them. Oh, there's another one over there. Jeez. So many Dilos. So you could easily get like a whole crew of Dilos to fuck some things up around here. I feel like that island is our safest bet to go somewhere, but at the same time it looks pretty fucking barren. Holy dodos! Okay, I'm getting a spear as quickly as I can and killing literally all these dodos. 'Cause food. Hell yeah. Yeah, we're getting a raft as soon as possible. There's nowhere we're staying around here. No shot. Okay. It's already so much safer down here. I don't know if we're any closer or further away from the tower down here. But at the very least, the Carno is toward the other end of the island. So, never mind. I think I literally see one right there coming out of the trees. Why do I have to open my big fat mouth? What compels me? Literally, why do I do this to myself? There's fewer dinos over here, which worries me, because that means I feel like there's a higher chance that he's going to come over this way. Coming after a meal, you know? But I also don't know what his aggro range is. I've never fought a Carno. I knocked out a singular Carno once from a distance, but that's nowhere near the same. Also, my stamina's ass, so we're going to start working on stamina, I think. Sleeping bag, absolutely. Fiber hat. Storage box. Okay, what we got? More wood. Okay, I was only able to make 2. Lie. Missing fiber. That makes sense. Oh, hi. The dodo. Hey, dodo. Where'd he go? Wherever he is, I don't see him. Never mind. I see him. He's fighting a trike. The trike's fighting back like a bitch. Oh, but I think he killed it. Yeah, he killed it and ate it. Rip. Okay, so we're gonna have to try to kill as many of these dodos as possible and then dip. Because this area is also not safe. And it's even less safe now that he's wandering. And yeah. Wait, is he attacking the... Oh, he's attacking a dodo. I thought he was going after the Bronto. I was like, damn. That takes some balls. Attacking a Bronto? Shit. Can I just go further? Can I just go to the, like, tip of the island and just chill there away from things until I, like, feel at least semi-safe? It's not even, like, I can't swim across over here because that's redwood forest over there, and redwood forests are fucking horrific. They've got, like, animals that fucking drop on top of you. They've got like a lion type thing that literally climbs trees and waits for you to walk underneath it, and then it'll attack you. And if you're on a dinosaur, like if you're mounted on a dinosaur, it'll knock you off your mount and beat the fuck out of you. This game's scary. Okay. Ooh, yeah, he's like slowly coming over this way. So the others are gonna dip. Yeah, see, they're starting to run. So I'm gonna try to hurt them in the same direction as his body, if at all possible. Like so. Cool. I just need enough food to hold me over for a little bit and enough hide to cover like the early basics. You know, I can go hunting later on. I don't see him any closer than he was, at least as far as I can tell. So let's get these guys. There's these two, and then there's the one down by the water. And then there's obviously way more further down the beach. Oop, accident jump. Whoopsie. I'm gonna have to get used to the controls again, too. Going from, like, 7 Days to Die to Minecraft to ARK is insane. Because obviously WASD is the same, but, like, running is different. Crouching is different. It's insane. Yeah, like I've got my crouch set to C on here. Or I think it's default C. Sprint is left shift. In 7 Days to Die, I think crouch might be control, or it might be also C. And then what is that? Oh, that's a raptor, I think. And then there's shift for sprint again. But in Minecraft, it's typically F for shift. And then R for sprint. Or I say R for run. That's what I changed it to. That's obviously not the game defaults, but that's what I changed it to. Because that's what I prefer to use. Wow, you are a vibrant trike. Hi, bud. Look at you with all your colors. Oh, there's a Dilo right there. I just casually... Oh. This guy's killing for sport. He killed this dodo and didn't even harvest it. What a bitch. Literally killed it just to kill it. What the fuck? I don't know what to do. Like, where the hell do I make a base here? Oh. Floating trike. Maybe I just circle the island until I find somewhere decent. You know? I thought there was a raptor anyway. It might not have been. It just looked like the height of a raptor, and it had the, like, walk of a raptor. You know, the, like, little bit of a strut type thing they got going on, as opposed to, like, the meander of the parasaur. But I also don't know what else there is. I like that cliff face, but that's also closer to the beacon. So I don't know about that one. 3-pack of Dilos right here. I know I spawned on the north side. I don't know where I am. Okay, so I'm still on the... Oh, I'm heading toward, like, I've passed the southernmost tip. I'm going more toward the, like, west. The western side. Or the eastern side of the island. I always switch those two up initially. Why? I don't know. Yeah, there's the plumes from what I'm assuming are volcanoes somewhere. Is that like an actual event? I know there's like a blood moon event every once in a while, but is there actually like a volcanic event where the volcanoes just go off? You know? Like they erupt? Or is that not a thing? Is what I'm talking about just the extinction event? Know what I mean? Or is that alluding to the extinction event, but it never happens? Because you're playing on here. Wow, this place is shadowed. Well, I guess that makes sense. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. So we're literally on the opposite side of where it would be right now. Atmosphere. I think we found the best place for us. I think right around here is probably the best. I'm not seeing too many animals. There also isn't that much as far as resources, but this is a good start until we can get like a raft or maybe like something, something better. Okay. Jeez, you can't like, you can't harvest shit from the tall grass? That's stupid. Literally my only concern in this area is the flying dinos around here. Because those are some of those assholes that just like attack you just to attack you. Not Pelagornis. Ichthyornis, maybe? I can't remember. I know one of the two has a wider wingspan, but I don't remember which one it is. I know I've had both. Wow, pretty. This map is so pretty. I'm definitely gonna have to put on some clothes because it's getting dark out, which means it's gonna get cold. Yeah. We need more fiber. Fiber, fiber, fiber. Always with the fiber. I definitely feel like I bit off more than I can chew playing on this map. At the same time, I don't want to get rid of my progress on the island to be able to play on there for this. I mean, I could always just play on the island where I'm at, but I don't know how much of that you guys would enjoy. We'll see. I might do that another night. I should also mention, I think all of my settings are set to default. So like I don't have like the XP multiplier up or anything. I think it all should be at its default. Oh, I recognize that bird. I'm gonna walk up to it. I think it's chill. And I'm gonna say it's Ichthyornis. Pelagornis, fuck! Yeah, I had an Ichthyornis named Izzy, and then a Pelagornis named Peggy. I miss them. They're also very chill. Pelagornis is not Ichthyornis. Those guys are assholes. What do I need? It won't tell me. Just gonna pop this down by the... Yeah, my character's getting hungry. We need thatch. Actually, let's make that first. Okay, just thatch. Cool. And then we'll just chill in here for the night. Damn, we got a lot of hide. Maybe I do have a multiplier on and I don't remember it. I could have sworn I set everything to default, but I might have been wrong. Are those still in here? He is. He's sleeping under my chair. What a cutie patootie. My little cutie pie. I literally just made the house and I'm already outgrowing it. Yeah, like I can't place the sleeping bag here. What if that's because of the charcoal? Hold on. Will it let me... No. Hold on. What level is yellow? Yellow. Blue. Great. ARK. What level? Fuck. Yellow's like the second highest. Damn. Okay. That's fine. I can already tell the whole, like, not being able to collect anything from the tall grass is gonna be annoying as fuck. Well, oh, didn't need that. It's alright, we'll store it away. Let's do wooden club. And then... burn pestle. And then spark powder. Cool. I'm gonna put this over here. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Alright, let's put that away. That stuff is not gonna stay because it'll spoil, but that's fine. I just want it out of my inventory for now. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's probably make, excuse me, a couple more spears. Oh. Well, that's a problem. I didn't think this through. Well. Can I make another one? Nope. I need wood. It's always good to have quite a few spears, because spears don't have the greatest durability. They break pretty easy, in my opinion. Jeez, why is like nothing allowing me to put things up against the wall? Make it make sense. It never stormed like this on the island. Crazy. There's not much else to do until daytime, so I'm just gonna collect fiber and wood and stuff. What do I need to make? Damn. I could have made a simple bed. Instead I made the fucking sleeping bag. My mistake. We're gonna have to go back down closer to where the Carnos were to get some more meat and stuff, because there's barely anything up here, so we won't last. That's the only unfortunate thing about living up here, is that we're away from everything else. I will say, I don't remember how easy it was to tame a Pelagornis, but that would be a good one to get. Because I don't remember what level my Pelagornis was, but I remember it got up to a level close to... Well, not level, but it got stats close to what my Pteranodon did. But in like half the levels. So, there's that. Oh, that's nice. You can pick up your sleeping bag. I didn't know that. That's probably part of the appeal, huh? Yay! Oh, and you can walk through it. That's good. Yay! Level up! Oh. I didn't remember what the hotkey was to transfer items. Now I remember. It was T. Let's do weight. Get narcotic. Ebola, I guess. Oh, I can use stone arrow. Cool. We'll do that. Next we'll get the bow. I do like the bow. Oh, and there's a shield at level 12. And we can already make a wooden house. I don't know if I want to, though. Because one, that obviously takes a lot of supplies, but then also I don't know how long we're going to live here. Not very long. Because again, there's like nothing up here for us to hunt. Which is a major drawback. Get out of my inventory, you bitch. You bitch. We have the hide. We need the stone to make the mortar and pestle. Do I want to make the mortar and pestle up here? Might as well. This will be like our absolute starter base. So we just need more stone. Yay, no more rock. It'd be good to get a parasaur. We don't even need a saddle for it necessarily, just it'd be good to have one for the sake of transporting goods, you know? Transporting big shit. Which is what we'll need the bola for. We have the hide. I can make a couple. Can't believe I got like 100 hide. That's crazy. Okay. Put the metal away. Wait. Oh, I was like, why do I still have meat on me? Because I didn't cook it all. Because I was still going based off of information for further in the game. Because there's like, I've heard that you're typically supposed to keep half your meat raw and half your meat cook it. And the raw meat you can use to tame carnivores, but like I don't know how many carnivores I'm gonna be taming early game. So I'm probably just gonna go for a parasaur, if I'm being honest. Maybe like a couple parasaurs just in case one dies. I don't know. If I'm doing that though, I need my narco berries actually. Parasaurs are easy to tame too. They're a decent early game tame. What time is it? Okay. Oh, it's almost 5. It's light enough out. Let's go. Let's go get ourselves a parasaur. Up, parasaur. Again, we'll also kill some other animals. Do I want to get a Pelagornis? I kind of do. But I think a Pelagornis requires fish. Hold on. I need to do some Googling. I literally have like 10. I never do this. I always close my tabs when I'm done. I've got like 10 tabs open from my playthrough on the island. Speaking of playthroughs, I want to do like a genuine recording of this game sometime. The only thing is that now I'm playing on the center. And I've been playing on the island in my spare time. So I think that's all of the like base game maps is the island in the center. I think all the rest are early release type things for the other games that they've put out or something along those lines, or they're just like wildly different than the base game ones. So yeah, Scorched Earth is a DLC, which I'd have to pay for, and I don't really want to. Aberration and Extinction are both also paid DLCs. There's Genesis Part 1 and Part 2. Ooh, okay, I could maybe play on Valguero, Crystal Isles, Lost Island, or Fjordur. Fjordur is an arc separated by 4 different realms. Lost Island is a large arc filled with ruins and modeled after Tamriel. I might like Lost Island then, actually. Ragnarok, a giant island arc. That could be cool. Valguero, an expansive landlocked arc with multiple underground environments. Maybe. I'll figure it out. Either way, I'm gonna be probably recording one of these. But for now, let's look up Pelagornis taming. I have a bunch of other taming tabs open. I've got one for the Moschops, Titanoboa, Hesperornis, Argentavis. Okay, so they do take raw fish meat. They only take 7. Ooh. Wait. They're fairly easy tames, I think. Why did I think they were difficult? I don't know, but I'm getting a Pelagornis now. Because I can at least level it up until I can get the saddle for it, which is going to take longer than a Pteranodon, but I feel like it'd be worth it. Again, because it, at least with the Pelagornis I had on the island, it got to the right weight stat in like half the levels that it took for the Pteranodon. So, why not? I want to live up there so bad. The only downside is that it's away from the water, and it's closer to the tower. Way closer to the tower, actually. That Dilo? Yeah. He's walking like a Dilo. That's for sure. I'm so excited to see the high level tames. Obviously, we already saw the compy, but ooh, I see a parasaur. I know I saw a tech parasaur earlier, but I'm not gonna be under the illusion that I'll be able to find that guy again. I thought I saw. Oh, hi. Compies, unfortunately, I think are kind of difficult to tame. They're kind of silly though, because sometimes they just glitch and they don't actually hurt you. They just sit there and chill. Might as well. In that case, parasaur. Wait, I just sworn I saw a parasaur over here. Oh, oh yeah, right there, behind the rock. What level are you, big guy? 37. Crazy. And parasaurs, again, aren't that difficult to tame. I don't think. So. Ooh, you've got cool markings. And you're low level. I'll take you, Miss Shitter. Come here. 5. Casually wasting time trying to figure out which key. Pass. Out. Pass. Out. This is so fucked. I'm literally beating up this parasaur until it passes out. How messed up is that? I think technically mejoberries are better. I'll give you those. Right? Yeah, I think it's the mejoberries that are the good berries. They're like the best tame berries. They're, I think, the equivalent of literally all the other berries combined or something. I don't remember. I know I went on like a deep dive of the names for the berries. Because I was like, wait a minute. Azul berries. That's the Spanish word for blue. Amar berries. Amarillo is the Spanish word for yellow. I was like, Tinto's not red, but it sounds familiar. And then when I looked it up, it's from Vino Tinto, the how you say red wine. Narco berries, just because it's from narcotics. Stimberry, because it's you make stimulant from it. And then mejoberry, I think, literally means like best or something. So it's literally called like the best berries or something like that. Who is that parasaur running from? That's a little scary. I definitely want to see if I can get another parasaur. Not because I want to tame these, or not because I want to breed these guys, but I just want them to have buddies, you know? I think that guy over there also has a cool marking on the face. I like your markings. It kind of looks like you've got like a skull mask on or something. Sick. And your like little arm spikes are white. You're pretty cool. Oh. Oh, he's just running from a Dilo. And the Dilo's running from him, I think. Dilo's not even going after him anymore. Calm down, dude. Chill. Relax. That guy's being chased by a Dilo, or was. They both chilled out, but I think the Dilo's coming after him again. Patricia. Yay, Patricia! Everybody say hi to Patricia! Now that I've tamed you, I'm taking those mejoberries back, and I'm giving you Amar berries. Sorry, but those are exclusively for taming. Oh yeah, wow. Look at that red trike. That is vibrant. That's crazy. I've never seen such like insane patterns. What do you got? What level are you? You don't have any cool markings. You're also a level. Are you the same guy I saw before? You might be. You're fairly basic, but you've got that cool purple on your head. Let's see if I can get you. Let's try. And yeah. And we beat the tar out of him with 5. Yeah. I gotta drink soon. Dude. I love that Patricia's just watching. Well. Oh, he broke out. He's escaping! Quick! Ooh, I like that Pteranodon. He's got cool colors. No, come back. The further you run, the further I'm gonna have to run back home. No! Also, I'm dehydrated. Oh. I'm gonna have to get a different one. I just casually shit in the water. No big deal. Let's do stamina again. I should definitely start leveling up my food and my other stuff soon. I just saw a parasaur running this way. Who are you running from? Are you the same one that was running from me? Or are you a different one? I think you're a different one. You're white. That's not me being racist. He's running from me. Shit. Damn it. Okay, it's just you and me for now, Patricia. That's okay. Do you have any levels? No. Damn. It's okay, Trish. We'll call you Trisha for short. I should name my dinos after memes. Like Vine, like classic Vine memes. You are Patricia! We get a Sarko, we call it Stop! I could have dropped my croissant! What else is there? Argentavis. A potato flew around my room. I think, what else? Hesperornis. Hurricane Katrina. More like Hurricane Tortilla. Raptor. Road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does. Can I put, like, symbols in their names? Now I'm curious. Can I change your name? I'm so sorry. Hold on. Options. Change name. Patricia. You can! Patricia! That's beautiful. That's amazing. I think we need movement speed from you, because you're kind of slow. Technically, you're gonna be like a resource dino, so I don't think we would need speed for you typically, but I want you to be speedy, damn it. What's a D one? Would be one for a Dilo, because I want to kind of get a couple Dilophosauruses. Fuck, hold on. Oh, a Titanoboa, and name it Two Bros Chilling in the Hot Tub, 5 feet apart, because they're not gay. Let's see. Oh, do it for the vine? Name a Dilo, do it for the vine. Stone. Damn it. Trying to think of a better name for the Dilos than do it for the vine. I feel like that's too basic. Hmm. Get a Carno, name it Come Get Y'all Juice. In Ichthyornis. I'm a bad bitch, you can't kill me. Hesperornis. Hi, welcome to Chili's. Fuck, I can't think of any and I can't find any. I'm gonna make a master list. I'm gonna make a list of all the dinosaurs in ARK and then pair them up with different vines so that anytime I get a dinosaur, it's named after a vine. I do like TikTok memes, but I feel like we go through memes so quickly. Whereas Vine has like a finite amount of time that it was around, you know? I don't know, I feel like it's easier maybe. I'm trying to think of an animal that starts with W. A dinosaur that starts with W, so I can name it Whoever Threw That Paper, Your Mom's a Hoe. I also gotta find one for the... Nah, they usually tell me I look like Shalissa. Who the fuck is Shalissa? Me, bitch. Only table... Only target conscious. Stance neutral. Disable following. There you go. Patricia should stay here now. Stay, Patricia. I'm not going to force myself to say them the correct way every time, but I do think it should be a semi-requirement. The only issue with getting a Pelagornis is that they only take raw fish. Like, they take prime fish meat, raw fish meat, and kibble. And we obviously don't have kibble, so... Ooh, I see some more. Who's a Pelagornis right there, but I don't have fish. Shit. Ooh, I like you. You're a female, never mind. I'll steal your man though. Fuck, I'm thirsty again. Ooh, I'm definitely stealing your man. That is a hot the parasaur. I like the orange markings on his like dark coat. Coat? I don't know if that's what you'd call that. But I like it. Picasso. You're gonna be mine. Yeah, look at that. He's got the same markings as Patricia, except they're orange. Yeah. Come on. Pass out. Go to sleep. It's like that scene from what was it, Civil War? No, not Civil War. From Age of Ultron, I think it was. Where Tony Stark is punching the shit out of the Hulk and he goes, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. This shit's funny. Oh, we have a bunch of meat too. So we could get some dilos. Okay, while you're taming, we're gonna find another pea. We're gonna find another pea vine. That sounds bad. My name's Trey. I have a basketball game tomorrow. Happy birthday, Raven! I can't swim. Oh yes, vines for each of the letters of the alphabet. We need a P. J K L M N O P. I forgot about that one. It's a longer one. Hopefully we have enough characters. If we don't, we'll just call you Pepsi Bottle. That'll be great. It's Tormin. I think that's your ex over there, dude. I think she's pissed that I'm bringing you to another girl. Stirring up the pot. My bad. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start killing some fish and trying to get a Pelagornis. I want to try and attempt to get a Pelagornis before we end stream, which for reference is in like a half hour. We're only gonna play for 2 hours tonight. Pepsi bottle, Coca-Cola glass. Okay. Right, that's how it goes. Pepsi bottle, Coca-Cola glass. Yeah, I don't give a damn. Beautiful. Oh, it's too long. Damn. We'll just call you Pepsi bottle. That's okay. Pepsi bottle. There we go. So we have Pepsi bottle and Patricia. Beautiful. Okay. Come on, Pepsi. We'll call you Pepsi for short, just like we'll call Patricia Trish. Yeah, you're Moz Chops. What would be a Moz Chops name? I don't know. Get another A1 and call it a church girl that go to church and read her Bible. Alright, Pepsi bottle! Yeah! Look at them with their matching markings, just different colors. How cute. I'm over here naming them after vines. Meanwhile, my brother's screaming in the other room. That's actually hilarious. Okay, let's see if we can kill some fish. I think it's deeper over here, so it might not be a good idea to go over here. There's some manta rays. But there's an easy boy. Come on. Come on, please don't go too far away. I only have a finite amount of oxygen. Yes, come here. Come on. Come with me. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Manta rays, please don't see me. I'm just taking this fish to the shore. Oofa. Okay. Release. That's 10 raw fish meat. We need more than that because a level 1 takes 7. So we'll bump it up to like 20. Yeah. Level 20 takes 12. So we need extra just in case. Shit. Oh, and now that bird is in the mix. Oh, fuck, now there's a manta ray. Okay, we're not fishing over here. Oh, yeah, he's coming for me. Oh, he coming. Oh, Lord, he coming. Fucking manta ray little bastards. I'd like them if they weren't such bitches. We're not gonna have too much better luck over here because this is like open ocean. Yeah, there's a fucking megalodon over there or some shit. There's no like small bodies of water here. Like at least on the island there were like rivers and shit. But I'm literally on an island right now, surrounded by ocean. Like even this is like a deep ass bay, you know? Oh, look at that island over there. I think I considered living over there before, didn't I? And if I'm thinking that's the same island. You might be mine. Never mind, you're running from me. Never mind. One of you will be, though. Whoa! Wait a minute. Is that a bunch of manta rays and a megalodon? Are they like eating him or are they just chilling with him or what? Colcanth, don't go in. Don't go deeper. Don't go deeper. Don't go deeper. Stay here, please. I need you. I need to murder you for the cause. For the cause. For the cause! Uh-oh, I'm drowning. Oh dear. I'm fine. This is for you in a minute. Don't look at me like that. You don't get to take it early, okay? Also, there's a dilo. Which would be fine, except I don't have the energy to run from it. Beautiful. There should be plenty. Oh, of course. The Pelagornis is being attacked by the dilo. What the fuck? Dilo's gotta ruin everything. Fucking bitches. I could have sworn there were like 5 Pelagornises flying around here. Now that I want one, there's only one, and it got driven away by a fucking dilo. My brother and I used to call those dudes dildos. I think I'm gonna go back to that. Because the nickname is fitting. They are dildos, in every sense. What do I want? Let's do higher water. Get a bow. Yes. Ooh, a shield. Hell yeah. Protect ourselves. Yeah, I'm seeing like no Pelagornises now. I swear there were so many flying around here when I first built my house over here. Granted, that was like yesterday. I thought it was longer than that. I thought it's been longer than that. Apparently not. Apparently I'm just shit at surviving. And the whole of the island knows it. Oh, you got kind of cool markings. You're like pink, aren't you? Wow, look at you. You're pink and your dark beak. Go off, King. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more Pelagornises. Did they all fucking leave? That's upsetting. Well, let's check these guys' levels. Yeah, early on they get a decent amount of passive levels. And I think because they're next to each other, that mate boosts them, but I might be wrong on that one. I know they get mate boosted while they're attacking things, but I don't know if that stands to stay the same if they're just chilling. I assume it does. That's why the heart's there. They're mate boosted. But again, I don't know. I'm gonna take those Mejo berries back. You can have Azul berries. You're welcome. Happy birthday. I know it's just what you wanted. Dude, this fish is gonna spoil and I'm gonna be mad because I didn't get to give it to a Pelagornis. Oh god, I'm gonna have to think of another pea vine. The only one that came to mind originally was Patricia. And then I had to look up the Pepsi bottle one. But that was from a list. The list only has one per letter. So I'm gonna have to find another list. Or something. Why are you so far out? I understand that, like, you might be upset because the dildo tried to kill you, but, like, look at him. He's dumb as rocks. He's not gonna remember what he did. Let's come back. Also, why is that one, like, floating or flying directly above the water? Wait. That looks like it might be one of the tiny dudes. The little guys that you can have on your shoulder. What are they called? I can't remember. I just know that they look kind of like the Vesps from the movie The Silence with Kiernan Shipka and Stanley Tucci. I always list off Kiernan Shipka and Stanley Tucci for that movie because I feel like so few people have seen that movie. Or if they have, they just don't fucking remember it. You know what I mean? Oh, and I just want a flying dino. Overraptor, I hate you. You're dumb. You're stupid. See, it just screams at you and runs away. In the past, that thing scared the shit out of my brother and I so many times because it literally just runs up to you, screams, and runs away. All the time. I think that is literally the only Pelagornis I see now. I'm gonna run out of fish. And I'm gonna be mad. I almost killed that dodo to make up for it. Holy shit, whatever that is moving fast. What is that? Oh, there's a compy after me. Hi, little compy. Oh, you're another, like, light-colored one. You're also high levels. I have meat. Maybe I give you meat? Maybe? I had an arco berry. Whoops. This one's gonna wake up before I can tame it. It's gonna kill you. If I can't have you, no one will! Great. Do, 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 do. Oh, they're coming back for more. Oh, never mind. Oh, yep, yep. He decided to a fucking 90-degree turn for whatever reason. Hi. Can I beat you up and keep you? Oh. That one didn't even fight me. Ran up to me and then ran off. Eat the meat. I can technically punch you, but you're also very low health already. This would be a good time to have kibble. You're also a high level, so you probably need more shit. Dang it. Yeah, you're... Okay. Teehee. I love that I act like I didn't just try to tame them. What are you talking about? I would never... Oh, you've got the same markings. Are you the... No, you're level 5. Why are there so many with the skull markings? I guess that one's more skull-like, I think, than... No, it's the same marking. It's just white. Oh, you are casually just phasing into the mountain, huh? Well. Oh, it's the dodo. I thought the Dilo was after me. Alas, it is not. The Pelagornis is closer-ish, I think. It's definitely closer, but it's still not back to shore. And of course, right near where it is, we have the fuckhead Dilo that chased it off to begin with. Yeah, see, look at that guy. It looks like it might be the tiny bat-looking, vesp-looking motherfucker. Look at those peaks. Those are high as fuck. I definitely, even though I don't think I could survive as well on the center as I have on the ARK, I do have an appreciation for the map because it is already pretty as fuck. Yeah, what is that? And why is it just chilling there? Is it like glitched or something? I don't know what that is. I kind of want to adventure. Even though it's literally almost nighttime. We're gonna follow the west coast of the island up toward the north. I just want to see what it looks like. I also don't know how big the island is. There's my answer. Not very at all. Oh. How sad. What is up with these Dilos just killing things and not even eating them? They're fucked. Fucked in the head. Are there any more ruins on this side? I know there's ruins on the north side, obviously, because we saw those. We're also coming over here while it's getting night. So it's probably not a good idea. Is that a Packy? Oh my god! It's a Mesopithecus! What does it take to tame a Mesopithecus? Is it something I could do? Mesopithecus ARK tame. Something I could do? Any type of berry? Any type of berry? What do I have to do? I can knock it out. Oh, and it doesn't take that many berries, even for like a level 20. Oh my god, I need to get this Mesopithecus. I need it. I need it. I need to have it in my life. There's a raptor. Fuck. It's dead. It's dead. Yeah, there it goes. Well, I tried. Whoa, what are you? Oh, I wasn't talking about you, but hi. I'm gonna die. Yeah, I know I'm tired. I'm not moving. But I'm gonna have to in a second. Just fucking titanium-drones. What is that? That's not a Bronto. It's skinnier than a Bronto. Oh, hello. Oh, my secondary alarm to make me go to bed. I've got a couple more minutes. Let's see what this guy is. Without dying, maybe. I mean, I'm okay with dying. Oh, there's one of the dudes. One of the guys I was talking about. It looks like the Vesp. Come on, I want to see this man. What is he? There's so many of the little guys. Oh, there's also a Dilo over here. What are you? You're smaller. Ah! I just wanted to see the big guy. Dead, thank God. Oh, now I'm gonna be killed by the big dude because he thinks I'm fighting him. I'm not! I just wanted to see what you were! What are you? Yeah, he's just gonna keep hitting me. I'm gonna back right into that raptor. I don't even know where the raptor went. What if I just run up really close to him? Hold on. Fuck. What are you? Diplodocus! Hello, Diplodocus. You're cute. I mean, you're mad at me for things that are not under my control, but you're cute. Are the bugs after me? No, they're just chilling. Cool. Good talk. Oh, this side is a very bad side. We've got a raptor and lots of little bugs. And even one of the fucking striped things that gets really territorial. Oh, there's a metal deposit over here, though. Shit, that's nice. Yeah, I just gotta give him a wide berth. Because he only gets mad when you're near him. He likes his space. And I'll respect his space. That is a raptor. And another one of the guys. Did the raptor kill the dude and then the dude's buddy killed the raptor? Damn! Holy shit! Just keeps giving and giving. Damn, level 14 raptor. Crazy. I need water. There's so many of the little dudes. The little flying guys that look like the Vesps. I'm just gonna start calling them Vesps. I know they start with a D. Because when I had one, I named it Diablo. Because I like to name them with the same letter of the species. I don't remember. Oh, this is definitely the side. This is the side that I died on, I think. Maybe. I don't remember for sure. I'm okay with dying right now, though. Because I don't plan on coming back to this. I might restart the island or maybe do one of the other maps. Potentially. Instead. Oh, there's a fucking Carno. I'm good. Thanks, though. Oh, there's a compy. At least one coming after me. Is this the side? Oh, holy shit. That's like a... Oh, I think it's only like a 5-pack. I thought it was like a 6 or 7-pack of compies. No. Oh, I just whistled. I hope my dinos don't come out here. Don't listen to the whistle. Don't come over here. You will literally die. So, if I'm correct, this is the north side of the island. Yes. So where did I spawn before? Because I haven't seen any ruins. I'm 100% gonna die. I'm coming up closer to the spire. I don't want to say it, but it's on the tip of my tongue, and you probably know what I'm gonna say. Oh, Lystrosauruses. You're good guys. So I'm gonna say it now. I'm not seeing any baddies. Ooh, lots of iron deposits. Is it iron? No, metal. Lots of metal deposits. These fucking compies, dude. Is it a compy? No. I think it's literally just Dilos and Titanomyramas. Myrma? Myrma? Oh, there's crystal up here too. That's cool. I'm at the edge. Uh-oh. Maybe I should just jump off. Maybe that'll be my last hurrah for today's stream. It's just jumping off. Committing die. There are so many compies. I also love that almost every time I meet a compy, they chase me as if they're gonna attack me, and then they just don't attack me. Like, they just vibe. Oh my god, my house is down there! That's so cute. I don't think I could navigate down, even if I tried. Actually, I probably could. I'm pretty sure it's literally just that direction, maybe? Hi, Packy! I shit myself. Mosh Chops, could you not make noises like that, please? I always get the Mosh Chops and the Lystrosaurus confused in my head. Like, realistically, I know the Mosh Chops is bigger, but for whatever reason, the names, I get confused all the time. Yeah, my house is down there. And my dinos! Oh, this is a cute area, actually. Being able to see it from up here, it's a cute little bay. It's adorable. If it wasn't so filled with death, it'd be amazing to live here. Is this where my house is? Yeah! Why can't I see it? Or am I just stupid and not paying attention? Or is it maybe just not loading in because I'm so far away? That's probably it. Well, I think we end this off with a nice hurrah and jump off. So, back up a little bit. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Oh, geez. Oh, wow. That was so far. We didn't get far, but it was a far drop. Yeah, I died right there, I think. My bed's right there. Yeah, so I was right. My house is right on that little part of the bay. Is that a peninsula? I think it's a peninsula.